You are listening to Chaos Springs Eternal, a Delta Green actual play, brought to you by Quartermasters of the Tabletop. This is Season 1, City of Woe. Delta Green, by its nature, deals with violent themes and disturbing imagery, as well as horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you're one of those people who don't mind comprehending some horrors from time to time, I think you'll have a good time listening here. Join us, won't you? Once again, hello and welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal, Season 1, City of Woe!
Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
No, I'm going to need you to back off your mic by about like 2 to 3 inches. That's all.
Whoa.
That's better. Yeah. Speaking of backing off your mic about 2 to 3 inches, we've got an interesting one here at the top. Just throwing out, what your favorite conspiracy theory is. Mark, you got a favorite conspiracy theory?
Let me set the scene for you here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
God.
I knew going to Mark first was a good choice.
Yeah, honestly.
It's 1985.
I already know what this one is.
Okay, then you tell it, Tyler.
Nope, go ahead. I hear the word 1985 and two things come to mind. And knowing you, I have a good idea what this is.
Mm-hmm. It's 1985. The New York Knicks are in need of a center. And Howard Stern bends an envelope that allows them to draft Patrick Ewing. That is my conspiracy theory that I believe is 100% true.
Absolutely. There's no question.
Right.
I love just typing 1985 immediately NBA draft conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. I told you, I knew
yeah.
exactly what it was going in.
Yep. That's 100%.
I won't believe you until you show me the piece of paper that you wrote on before.
Well, this is my favorite conspiracy then.
All right, what's yours? The one that you're pranking us with right now?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah,
aside from that one, Tyler, what is your favorite?
So I don't think I can say the obvious ones, the ones like, the grassy knoll shooter or the Epstein didn't kill himself things. I think those are obvious ones.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the conspiracy theory of I'm blanking on the name now. The sunken earth theory, I think is what it's called, with that
The Hollow Earth.
No, not Hollow Earth.
Are you thinking like mud floods and stuff?
Mud flood, that's what it is. Yeah. That's just like
flood?
Yeah, that we've been growing cities on top of other cities, and at some point there was a massive flood of just earth that buried all these ancient cities, and people are like pointing at pictures of buildings that have windows like on the ground, and they're like, it doesn't make any sense, why would they put those there? And then like if you go inside, it's one of those houses that has like a mid floor or like mid ground floor. That's my favorite silly conspiracy theory. Not like the one I believe necessarily, but I love listening and hearing about it.
Something
So
about the
friggin' funny to me.
Tartarian Empire?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tartarian Empire is a different thing as well. It's connected to Mudflood though.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tartaria is also connected to Atlantis and Lemuria, and a lot
Hollow
of the sort
Earth.
of Hollow Earth. A
It's
lot
all
of the
connected.
sort of alt history type of thing.
Listen, we could make a podcast exclusively on the Mudflood Hollow Earth Tartaria.
I have listened to many podcasts about these things.
I have listened to 3-hour-long explanations.
Yeah.
Plural. Multiple. With different content in each one. And it's great.
Well,
Yeah.
as being the only Christian podcast, we have to believe that because it involves a historical flood, correct?
Hmm.
So this is all biblical. Tell me.
What's funny is I don't think that Mudflood and Young Earth actually have much overlap, because the whole Mudflood Tartaria thing is like, this is a cycle that happens every, depending on who you ask, it's like 12,000, 30,000, 100,000, whatever,
Yeah.
however many years. It's like they wipe out a bunch of people, and then, the remaining people just barely remember it. My favorite, actually, because this ties in, my favorite like little continuation of this is they're like, that's why they invented insane asylums was for survivors of these mud flood type
What?
events.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have
And the
not heard
people
this
who-
one yet. How have I
the
not
people-
heard this yet?
Well, it's not specifically like there was a mud flood event, in the past 200 years or something, but it's like all these alternate history things. It's like all the people who remembered it and were convinced that they remembered and they remember the real history, quote unquote. They're the ones who get put in insane asylums all together, and people are like, yeah, no, they're just crazy.
Wow.
Now, why we don't have insane asylums now?
Because there hasn't been
I
a mud flood recently.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, you guys don't remember the mud flood 2 years ago?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh no! There's
Also-
someone knocking at my door.
I love also just going back to Mark bringing up the whole Christian conspiracy thing. One of my homies was in Kentucky recently, and he sent me a picture of that Noah's Ark replica that has the dinosaurs in it.
Oh my god.
For those who don't know, there's a replica in, I don't remember what city in Kentucky that someone built that has a air quote 1-to-1 replica of Noah's Ark, and he's also like an adamant young Earth believer, so he has like statues of like pterodons and T-Rexes alongside like penguins and giraffes.
It's good times.
Fucking incredible. I used to know a lot of conspiracy theories, and then I just emptied all that information out and just crammed in a bunch of TTRPG shit. Or maybe it was around the time that I got super into Fallout, and I just started reading the Fallout wikis nonstop. And now I can probably walk without pulling up the map from the start of the game from Megaton to Operation Anchorage DLC, and then walk back over encumbered as safe as possible. Of conspiracy theories, though, I think the silliest one is the fact that people think we faked the moon landing. And how everything would... Something about it costing more money to fake it than to actually just go to the moon just tickles me. That in Flat Earth. Flat Earth is the funniest fucking thing, because, come on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Noah, but actually, as the only Christian Delta Green RPG podcast, we explicitly believe in Flat Earth.
Yeah. It's part of our doctrine.
Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to our HR department and see if I can get a
All right, I'll make sure I send
I'll
you
leave.
Give Linda a call. Yeah.
Yeah. Linda is actually pretty backlogged. So
She really- there's only 4 of us, but we have a lot of HR complaints.
We have a lot of HR complaints that don't come to me. Like, I'm HR, but also I'm the one who's getting all the complaints.
And we call you Linda in that capacity.
It's like, Linda, Tyler's like saying some real weird stuff on insert social media I don't have.
Have you tried giving him just like a crisp $20 bill?
Yeah, you should do that. I think he would feel real good about himself.
Well, my favorite thing about the moon landing conspiracy theory, other than the fact that Stanley Kubrick was somehow involved, which we've already touched on.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is just the sheer amount of people that would have to keep that a secret. And there's it's just astronomical to, play on a pun here, but it's not possible that 400 some thousand people can keep a secret like that. Yeah.
That another one that I thought you were actually going to say, Noah, is the one that the Mandela effect is actually because 2 universes have merged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Berenstain versus Berenstein bears.
Yeah. There's like a conspiracy theory that there was some pivotal moment where 2 universes have merged, but the consciousness of the 2 can't coexist, so the consciousnesses had to fight. So people who are in both have memories from the other one and whatever. So that's why there's the Berenstein versus Bernstein Barons and all that stuff. Which I will die on this hill. It was Berenstein when I was a kid. I don't care what fucking image you show me. It is Berenstein.
It was just those silly little bears with the dad had the funny little hat. That's all I remember about it.
Well, it's funny that if 2 universes merge, that's the That's the crossing point. It's the Berenstain Bears.
Well,
That's the
that
crux
wasn't
of
the.
it.
That's not the crossing point in the conspiracy theory. I
It
can't
should
remember what
be,
exactly
though.
they were. But my
It
favorite
all-
one, which
It
is
all
clearly
hinges
a
on
meme,
these 4 fucking bears.
my favorite one, which is clearly a joke in that conspiracy theory idea, is that it was Harambe's killing was the splitting point that made the two universes merge.
Oh my god. With the death of this character, the world's timeline is severed. Please reload a previous save.
Well, speaking of conspiracy theories,
We're
you
all
guys
just
got any?
NPCs in Harambe's game.
You guys got any theories about what's going on in Florazon Manor? Let's I tell you what. I'll give you a brief-ish recap of what happened last time. Y'all had discovered a dead body in the basement. Do you remember who?
Yeah, it was the mayor's brother.
Antoine Babineau, who was bloodless and had been gutted and placed in some sort of strange ritual circle. Also in this room, there was a sort of table filled with random things, and among those things you found some of your own lost possessions. Clementine had failed her sanity roll and ran upstairs, so Marcy had gone chasing after her. Narrowly missing a chandelier swinging at her, Marcy managed to calm Clementine down and walk her back downstairs and outside. Once y'all were all outside, you found that you had inadvertently picked up something else that belonged to Marcy and something that belonged to Clementine. Do you all remember what those objects were, by the way?
I remember mine was a ticket for, what was it, bowling for soup?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was the first printings of the first EP for the band. I'm blanking on the name of the band.
Paradise Rebels.
Paradise Rebels, thank you.
And I found some old sunglasses.
And Clementine y'all had her sewing kit, her little emergency sewing kit. It's in like a little 3x5 plastic case. As y'all had come outside, you managed to sort of recoup a little bit. You saw... Oh, well, yeah. When Marcy had seen Clementine, she had calmed her down. She'd seen a hand on her shoulder. Which, when she relayed that to Clementine, Clementine had passed out. Just briefly fainted. But
Did you describe it as like a white spectral hand?
yeah,
Okay.
It was noticeably different than Marguerite's hand.
Yeah.
I think was what y'all had gotten. And after y'all had talked a little bit, Clementine had turned back because y'all did call the police, as you should when you find a dead body. And Clementine had turned back to go back in the house, and we had seen sirens on the horizon. So I'm curious. You as player, I mean, you can either follow Clementine in right now, or we can sort of freeze frame it. And I'm curious to see what you guys think is going on. If you want to hash a little bit out on air before we move into some action.
I'll let the other two go first, because I think mine is going to be some real Pepe Sylvia logic going on. So,
It's fine if you don't, too.
I don't fully know what's happening at all. I mean, I know that's the point. Haha, hee hee, hoo hoo. But I just... something fucked up happened in that manner. 100%. That's for sure. The fact that there are two ghosts active that seem... I don't know if they're opposed to each other or they're just like two people stuck in the house. We don't know the name of one of them, right? We know Marguerite.
Mm-hmm.
Or we think we know Marguerite.
I mean, that's at least the name it goes by.
Right.
Or that's the name that it's chosen to accept us calling it by.
Yeah, and then there's another spirit or something
Humanoid.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
From our Shake the Bookcase questionnaire.
It wasn't a paw, so we can rule out it being a dog.
Thank God, not Airbud. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, we dodged a bullet.
Hey, be
there.
careful. Last time we made Airbud jokes.
I'm outside the house now. What's going to happen? A fucking plane's going to crash into the house.
Taking a note. One little thing also
God.
to remind you is that
A real Donnie
Cyril.
Just a big note that says "Kill Marcy."
We're just living Donnie Darko.
Cyril had
Yes.
when he was in the hidden basement room. He had noticed that there was a warm wall. On one of the sides, and he thought he heard maybe footsteps.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it back up.
Yeah.
Mark, do you have any ideas what's going on?
I don't know. I'm trying to piece it all together in the fact that I'm looking at it not so much, yes, there's a ghost in the house, but it feels like somebody's setting all of us up. The dead body of the missing mayor's brother is in the basement with all of our stuff. My gun is still, I'm assuming, in the house because I didn't come out with it.
Marcy's as well, I believe.
Right. The mayor had talked to me exclusively about meeting with my uncle, who is a judge. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
He had a big meeting, I believe, Monday?
Yeah, because he told me he was meeting with my uncle, who is a judge, or yeah, I think he's my uncle or my grandfather or something.
He's
who
your
is
uncle.
a judge, and what is he?
He's your uncle.
He's my uncle, and I don't know. It just seems like sometimes the easiest way to get property, because maybe there was a fight between him and his brother, and they wanted to keep the property and one didn't, and something happened, and sometimes the easiest way to keep things out of hand is to make the place undesirable. So if they don't do that, then I don't know. I'm at a lot. I've been sprawling trying to figure out like how to put it all together.
What if it's the mayor playing it straight and he knew the house was haunted, and just like the fastest way to get the house to not be bulldozed was to get it caught up in so much like legalese bullshit.
Yeah, just like so much red tape. Like
implicate 3 people or almost 4 people in A, the death of his brother, B,
right.
actual ghost haunting, and C, some satanic panic shit.
Right. So, but the problem to that is that the people that he claims are trying to get the manor wouldn't give a shit about that. Like, they're like corporations. They wouldn't care about they'd raise the place. Yeah, and they'd be done. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see what Tyler has to think, because she's usually the one that's like, I think it was werewolves that were really into butt play, and it'll be great. So
yeah, I'll be shockingly close.
I am curious, Tyler. All right, let's hear your preliminary stab so that I can then rewrite what's actually happening.
Perfect. So I spent 3 hours this weekend of recording, re-listening to a couple of episodes, very specifically the dream sequences.
Okay.
Because I feel each of those are somehow prophetic to something that has occurred or will occur. So, for example, for Joel, he mysteriously knew where the body was. I think for Marcy, her dream with the bowling alley, especially where her tears start to flow and it starts to flood, I think is in reference to the hurricane that just came through. And that brought something either with it or it woke something up inside of the house. And then for you, Cyril,
Something antediluvian, you might say.
Maybe. I think for you, Cyril, you saw the image of a woman giving birth with a like ghostly apparition of Marguerite over her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I can't remember. I was trying to re-listen to it, and either I missed it or I didn't write it down. There was a woman, like a housekeeper or an assistant, who lived with the mayor's aunt. Or not necessarily lived with her, but like was around her a lot. And I assume also that went back at least a generation or two. You know, a lot of times when a family had help, especially, you know, 60s, 70s, 50s, somewhere in that range, they last a while, especially for richer families. You know, they were able to pay well, potentially treat them better, depends individual, all that stuff, right? But I think that Marguerite is either the spirit that housekeeper, assistant, whatever you want to call her, the help, brought to this house, either out of spite, revenge, or something with some weird voodoo ritual. Because we are in Louisiana. Louisiana has a lot of ties to French colonization, not only, you know, the white people coming from France, but also a lot of French colonists from like Haiti, Cuba, you know, the Caribbean islands being brought up forcefully, usually. And with that comes a lot of, you know, voodoo practices, especially from like Haiti. So I think that there's some weird voodoo magic going on, unironically. I think legitimately the plot is voodoo magic. So either Marguerite is the spirit that she tried to summon to do something to the family, like as a curse, or she is the spirit of the little girl that was supposed to be born, but was either sacrificed or replaced with a voodoo spirit. So that's the first pin in this Pepe Sylvia.
You writing all this down, Dan? You got it?
I got it all. I will say that you are not as close as you were on previous reveals, but there's a lot in there that you are pretty darn close on.
Okay. Yeah. I think,
do you remember the housekeeper's name?
I don't. Like I said, I either didn't catch it in my re-listens or I didn't write it down.
I'll say it's in there. It's in your interview with the ghost child. During the it was in one of the journals. So in case you need something to reference to go back and listen to. But
yeah, I love how that immediately tells me like, well, go back and re-listen to like what episode 2?
That was what I wanted to
do
this episode at some point. Whenever there was a time where it would make
I
sense
thought you
for
meant
him to
stop
bring it
the
out.
episode and just all go re-listen to episode 3.
No,
Just
I
take a minute, guys.
I wanted to at some point have Joel open back up the journal, if you know, whenever there is a time that it would make sense for him to stop and like go back through, more or less. So,
well, Clementine is headed back to the door.
Yeah.
Are any of you moving to stop her, follow her? What are you doing?
Yeah, Joel wants to try and like tackle her to the ground. He is not letting her back inside of that house.
Okay, she's totally like not paying attention to you, so you can just do that.
Yeah, he'll just like spear her from the side and just like bring her to the ground and just like lay on top of her.
Then begin, elbows and right to the face, and
just
until she goes unconscious, bleeding.
Yeah.
Christ.
Concussion.
Why do you keep doing this, Joel?
Yeah, just overhand fist. The dual, like you're clasping your fist and just bringing
classic
it down
ground
on her
and
nose.
pound, baby.
Yeah.
Classic ground and pound. All right.
I watch enough UFC.
Not about his
elbows.
sister. Not about his sister.
Noah, it's not that. Noah.
It's not better either way with the assault. Christ.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It's pretty bad either way. But the point is, you just are stopping her, restraining her. And as you do, she looks at you and she says, "Joel, a ghost almost touched me. I have to go see what's going on."
Yeah, there's also a dead body, and if you listen, there's sirens. You're not going back in there when there's a dead body and the police are going to show up and ask us all questions.
She's like, if I go quickly, maybe I can find him.
No.
Clementine, listen. No one's going back in that house at all.
She says, "Fine, but once they move the body,
No,
Joel, it's not fair. You got to see the ghost. I haven't even seen it yet."
You got to see it too, Clementine. You saw it on video. That's gonna have to be as good as you get right now.
Clementine, we've gone past just ghost stories.
I don't know how we're gonna explain ourselves. Like,
We're living in one.
I mean, I fucking fired shots in that building. This is not going to end well.
It's not the same. She looks up at Joel and she says, "Please, Joel, just let me go."
Aside from the spirits that are in that house, there was also the swarm of rats that you two had to set aflame with a makeshift Molotov cocktail that destroyed my RC car. The chandelier that nearly hit me when I went up to go get you. And God knows what other things might be in there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wait. And we're gonna sit out here. Okay?
If I look back up to that window, is Marguerite still there pounding away?
No, when you look back up now, there's no one in the window.
Okay. Joel will look up there and back down at Clementine. Clem, I'm sorry, I can't let you back in there.
And she just closes her eyes and sighs. Says, fine. But
Gotta say, I would love to get the video cameras, though.
We'll figure that out if it doesn't get taken.
They're probably going to be impounded into evidence or something.
fine. It's fine. We've got enough. I heard back from my contact and we're gonna get something set up.
Dan?
Yeah.
I would like to go through the video just as quickly as I can and look at the photos that I took of the crime scene, look at the video I took of the whole reveal and everything else, just to see if there's any anomalies or if Marguerite's there or if something else is there, or I'd just do a cursory glance at all that.
Okay. Yeah. So you did take a lot of photos of Antoine and that grouping, the strange stuff on the table, as well as the circle that I believe we all checked. I can't remember if you made occultism rolls. I don't remember you passed or failed, but
Marcy hasn't even seen it, I believe.
I have a failed occultism roll happening.
Okay.
So
Both of us.
so I think you both did not recognize it. But even with a failed, it's not like it was just unlike anything that you had ever you were familiar with. But yeah, if you're showing Marcy this, she's free to roll an occult on that symbol, and as you search back through the photos, why don't you make a search roll too? So Marcy, give me an occult, and Cyril can make a search. Okay.
43 under 50 for me, success.
And
I got a 97 over 10 for occultism.
so with that 97 over 10, you're like, yeah, I know this. This is the Ars Gracia Seal of Solomon. Easy.
Why didn't we figure that out?
Yeah, obviously. But with a 43 under 50, as you're searching through these photos and this video, remind me, did you take the video first or last?
We took the video first because Joel knew where the body was, so I was like, we had a moment to be able to set things up.
Well, I didn't know where the body was. I found the secret area.
You found the secret area, so
And
we
that's
were
when
able
we
to
revealed
like,
the body.
yeah, I was recording him as he opened the door and
Right.
revealed what was beyond it.
So as you're searching through the video, it's pretty standard. I mean, the reveal is still pretty striking. The way that it was hidden in the wall is just so like perfect. And I mean, maybe you look for like seams in the wall, but they're totally not obvious until you take off the baseboards and actually look. That's how well hidden they are, and that's just probably why no one, who looks at baseboards. It's really, really fortunate that Marcy brought the RC car to be able to see those things. But then as you're searching through some of the Polaroids that you took of like the stuff that was in there, you're looking, and I think like one of the last Polaroids that you go through as you are looking at not just the crime scene, but sort of maybe you're drawn to that wall. The 4350, what you notice is that the wall is like discolored. Discolored.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a weird word to say. It's discolored in a strange way, and I mean enough where it's like, well, okay, I'm dealing with sort of poor lighting, obviously, but it's still strange compared to the other photos where you still have that same lighting, and it's just enough to say like there's something weird there.
There's something weird going on there. Yeah, I wonder if that is an area down to like a smuggler's passage. That was my other thing I was thinking about the other day, is that this used to be a house of smuggling. So there is probably something down there, like a smuggler's cave or something.
You never know.
The other thing is I want to make sure, like, I don't own a Polaroid camera. These would be on my SLR.
Oh, okay,
camera.
okay. So you're going back through your SLR. Then.
Yeah, okay, just checking. Retcon. Right. So, and the other thing is that once we all looked at it and we kind of got a scope of it, I would take the SD card out of the camera and try to like conceal it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would also like to like slowly get off Clementine and just like gauge what she's gonna do.
She's still got her eyes closed and is kind of frozen, just still sighing, just breathing, and I mean, she's just laying there.
Joel will, just after a couple seconds, he doesn't think she's going to do anything. He's going to go pick up the record and throw it into his car.
Okay. It shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Not like that.
Make golf with your record.
Make a range throw roll.
Make a firearms check, please.
Tomahawk this.
No. Yeah. After a little while, she'll sit up.
The frisbee golf team of Louisiana.
Oh my.
Oh. After a while, Clementine does sit up and just sort of wraps her arms around her knees. She looks pretty sad, but what are you going to do? And right about then, after you guys have checked through all that stuff, and as you sort of recovered from Clementine trying to go back to the manor, up through the driveway around the bend, and then up to the driveway pulls our old buddy, Officer Marr. Detective Marr, that is. I don't know if officer is better than detective or not, so I'm just going to call him detective because that's his job. So Detective Marr pulls in, and he's got a little one of those little magnetic sirens attached to the top of his police car, and he pulls
Dragnet
up.
style?
Yeah, Dragnet style. And as he pulls up, he flips it off, steps outside of the car, and approaches y'all. Says, well, gotta be honest, I didn't think I'd be out here so many times in just a single weekend.
You mean more than once?
Yeah, I mean, it's only my third time out here ever, so.
I wish it was under better circumstances. And Joel's like rubbing like his temples. Detective, we gotta be straight with you.
Yeah.
There's some weird shit going on inside of that building.
I understand that you've found Antoine Babineau, so...
No. Like...
You didn't find him?
No, I did, but like weirder shit than a body.
How familiar are you with the dead?
He gives you a very quizzical look at that. It says, I've seen my fair share of dead bodies.
How familiar are you with the Restless Dead? I'm not trying to pitch you our production or our show or whatever. I mean, there's shit in there that, if you're not careful, will try to hurt you. And it's not mold or asbestos, it's a spirit.
Ghosts. Cyril and I were attacked by a couple hundred rats.
We had books thrown at us a couple days ago, and then I got pushed into a hole. That's why I was in the hospital.
He's got a very like screwed up look on his face, just like it's a lot to take in. As y'all are telling him this, and he says,
I had a chandelier that was hovering in the middle of a walkway where no force was acting on it, and then it swung at me. It swung at me. The only other person who could corroborate that was Clementine, who was recovering from seeing Antoine's body in the basement.
Says, okay, the body's in the basement. I'm gonna need. Can you show me where it is? Or tell me where it is. 'Cause listen, that's all great. Fine, ghosts, whatever. I gotta go get that body.
You got more people coming, Detective?
Yeah, there's more coming. It's crime scene investigators, that sort of thing. But
no, I mean more. Just you out here. You didn't bring a squatty or anything.
He's gonna say, yeah. Well, when I got the call, I did call the dispatcher to let him know, and I've got some people on the way, but I got here first. So,
if you don't mind, I'd like to at least wait for them to show up before we go in the building.
He gives you a very like quizzical look. He's like, listen, it's fine. If you guys want to wait out here, that's fine. Just tell me where the body is.
No, you can't go in there alone.
I don't think you understand. Stuff is happening in that house, and if there's already a dead body in the basement, and if you end up that way, then it's all on us again, and I'm not going through that shit. So we're going to wait for other people to get here so you can go in there and look around. So that we can stand out here and I can have somebody say that is not my friend. Cyril didn't do nothing.
Cyril, thanks for the advice, but I am a police detective. This is literally my job.
All right.
Yes, but you're not a Ghostbuster, Detective Marr.
Could you at least write a note that we told you not to go in by yourself and you went in of your own admission? I just absolving us of any shit that might happen.
The body's not going anywhere, and if you got people on the way, they're going to be 30, 40 minutes. It's not that long. It's not like that time span's going to do anything.
But you don't know that, right? Things can happen in time. If there's ghosts in there, they could mess. Can they mess? I don't know. Can you understand why I'm very tired. And I've already been in there. Here's the thing. I've already been in there. And I went downstairs. I looked around. Nothing happened to me.
Okay.
And you guys have been in there. And while Marcy, I'm very sorry about your injuries. You were all alive.
We were attacked by like 300 rats.
It says,
literally had to make a Molotov and throw it at it. Do you want me to pull out the RC car and show you what they did to it? Because they tore it the fuck up.
He says, but y'all got rid of the rats, right? So no more rats?
Some.
Detective.
Some.
He says, listen, this is enough. I'm the police. I'm going in.
Give me 5 seconds. Detective, give me 5 seconds.
He looks at you.
Clementine.
Yes?
Did you bring the salt?
Yes, I brought the salt.
He'll go to her car and get the salt.
Okay, there's salt in the car.
Is it like a big bag or like?
Yeah, it's like a 20-pound box of diamond crystal kosher salt.
Yeah, he'll huff it up over his shoulder, and he'll walk up next to the detective. All right, let's go.
He gives you a very. He's been. I don't know. I've been describing facial expressions, but this one is definitely a very like. I don't even know how to describe his face at this point. It's just like accepting,
confusion, and acceptance.
It's at this point he's just like, sure, why not? That's just if this is what gets me in there, fine. I'm you know, he's still as cool a policeman as he is. He's still a policeman. So
yeah,
when civilians tell him to do stuff, it just kind of gets on him. Really, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I decided that I'm basing him off of Josh Brolin's character in Inherent Vice.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
Detective Bigfoot, I think, was his name in that one. But anyway,
that's a good name.
He says, "All right, then follow me," and he opens up the door and heads inside. And so we'll follow. I guess let's just move y'all in the manor real quick. Just as long as we're here. And y'all make your way back downstairs. Where is
Oh, Marcy does not go in.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Noah, but when I'm in the virtual tabletop, I can't put you two in like one and then us two in another.
Oh, I know.
But where's Joel's character? Is this one? Yeah. So, as you head downstairs, y'all go downstairs, passing this first landing room. He says, which way? And if you point left, he bypasses the camera that y'all had set up there to look into this room. And he says, okay, so where is it?
Is the wall still open?
Nope.
It's a false wall, and I will walk up to it and open it.
As you pull the floorboards back and search for the seam in the wall that allows you to open it, there is no seam.
Mm-hmm.
Joel does that, and then he like panics for a second, and he does like the quick motions like where the seams were, drops the bag. 1 sec, and he'll stop for a second, think of that dream again. Okay, right here, yeah. And then like follow the steps that he did. Then he will go there and look back, and there's still no seams.
Still no seams.
Detective, I don't know how to explain this to you right now. It was here. It was right here. There was a wall. Cyril has it on video. We have cameras everywhere. There was a wall. Antoine was in there. There was a summoning circle or like a pentagram, some shit underneath, and there was a bunch of people's stuff in there.
He's
and
skeptically.
He will describe it to the best of his ability, like everything he saw.
He says, "Okay, all right. You said it's behind here, though."
Yeah, it was. This was a fake door. This was a trap door.
Okay, all right.
2 minutes ago.
And he pulls a knife out of his pocket. He's like, "Well, let me see." And he stabs it into the wall, which is papered in wood. But as he like saws through some planks, or whatever the wall material is made of. Behind it is dirt, earth.
I fucking knew it.
I think Joel just like drops, whatever energy he still had is just gone at this point.
Yeah.
It's just like hands to his head, like wide-eyed. No, there was blood on the walls. There's blood on the walls upstairs. There's words. We have notes with children's nursery rhymes on it, and none of this sounds credible, does it?
He says, Joel, listen, I think you're an all right guy for, all the stuff you're mixed up in, but I think I have maybe a simpler explanation. It's late, y'all barely slept, you had to go to the emergency room. Can't imagine that lends itself to great sleep. You were on assignment for the mayor. Mayor's a great guy. You wanted to make it look impressive. Maybe, y'all just got a little self-spooked. It happens.
No, detective, no, what? Are you saying that we imagined an entire room, the four of us, three of us? Marcy didn't see it, I guess, but we don't make shared hallucinations on ghost hunts.
Right, but, maybe, I don't know, maybe you saw something out of the corner of your eye, and as you shared what it was, someone reinforced that. Hey, listen, this happens. Eyewitness accounts are notoriously unreliable.
Detective, we have it on video. I'm gonna go get Cyril.
Okay. You want me to? I can keep searching. Yeah, I think it would make most sense for it to be like not dirt, earth, but to be like cinder blocks or some sort of like actual building material. But clearly something behind it that is solid.
Yeah.
There is no door.
Yeah. I would prefer you to come back up with me, but I'm not gonna stop you from doing anything. Clearly, I don't have any authority.
He says, hey, wait a second. And you see him like sniff the air. He says, I don't smell it anymore.
Smell what?
Well, I don't know. Last time I was down here, what was that? This morning? Last night? It smelled awful in here. Like I assumed it was a wild animal, caught in something.
I'll take a sniff.
Yeah, you don't smell it.
Okay. That doesn't proc you a little weird, detective?
He says, well...
Are there scorch marks on the ground still?
Yeah, there's still scorch marks. And every once in a while you might see like a rat out of the corner of your eye.
Okay. I think that helps a little bit with his sanity.
Do you investigate the wall at all?
I do want to investigate the wall before.
I'll say this, like, if you go up to the wall and start investigating it a little more, now that it's like a little bit more uncovered, the one thing that you notice is it's like a little warm.
Interesting. Give me 30 seconds, and he'll leave the bag of salt downstairs, and just like quickly shoot up the stairs back up to the front door, and open it, and then shout out to Cyril.
What do you want?
Bring the camera. He needs to see the video. It's gone.
Okay. Is the whole thing is gone? Like, what is
room and
gone?
all.
The room and all is gone.
It's
More
just
details, Joel. What else?
cinder blocks. We've pried through the wall. There's just cinder blocks now.
Was the wall warm?
A little bit, yeah. How did you...
Okay. And I will get out my camera and I will grab my concealed SD card and I will put it back in there. And I'm just going to verify that stuff is still on the camera before I go all the way downstairs to talk to a detective.
Yeah, when you put the SD card back in, you get a little a thing on the SLR that says ERR.
Well, Joel, it's no use.
What do you mean?
It's not on my camera anymore.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's not on my camera anymore. The SD card comes up as an error. My guess is it's been wiped.
What the fuck?
What? Did you put it in your pocket with a fucking magnet? What do you mean it's been wiped?
Yeah, I got an electromagnet in my goddamn pocket. No, of course I didn't.
Then what do you mean it's been wiped? And he's like just furious. Like his
What do you
face
mean
is
that
red.
the room is missing downstairs, Joel? And there's strange shit happening. Like, this is technology failing's like numero uno thing for us. You gotta know that.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Yeah.
right now.
I can go down there. I guess I should have.
He's not. Yeah, let's just go.
Did you just leave him down there by himself?
He has the salt. He has the salt, and he'll just head back downstairs.
I'm glad he's down
What
there.
is Sodium going to do to help him?
He won't answer. He'll just go downstairs.
When you get back downstairs, he's just licking the salt like a horse.
Like it's a salt lick that you're baiting in.
Does he like react like, oh fuck?
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't have seen that.
Turns into Mr. Ed.
Christ.
I guess Cyril will go down there and just he'll go in the room with everybody and he'll be like, "I'm sorry, detective, but there's nothing on my camera." So
as you pull in the room and you start talking, he holds up his finger to you like a little like wait, there's his pointer finger, and he's got his ear against the wall, and he's got one hand over his lips, one finger over his lips, like shh, and then the other one saying, wait. And he's got his gun out in the one hand that's got the finger pointing up, and then he like points to the wall, and then he lost it. I could have sworn I was hearing something on the other side of here. I do think there's something here, but I don't know. There's no like door. I've examined it pretty closely.
It feels warm though, right?
did you hear footsteps beyond there?
Yeah, maybe footsteps. Something somewhat rhythmic.
Yeah. And I know this seems far-fetched, but when that room did exist, I heard something beyond the wall of it too, and it sounded like scuttling. Was the wall warm to the touch?
Yeah, I don't know, it's the wall.
Yeah. There's something going on here, but I think you can leave, Detective, if you need to.
He looks at you, he's like, I'm not going to leave until the other cops get here, and if you guys say that there's a dead body in this house, like, I am going to take that seriously, but you understand why I'm having a little trouble. Like, y'all seem very level-headed, but it's hard to believe that this isn't maybe part of the whole thing, the whole act,
I get it.
I will go to the camera that's pointing in the room still and turn it off. Like, if it's still recording, I'll turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to describe to you. This is not part of the bid, Detective. I'm not going to sit here and fake an actual murder. I'm not going to call the police. If I'm going to do that, we're going to hire someone to pretend to be a police officer, okay?
Marcy, could you make an alertness roll?
Oh boy. We left Marcy and Clementine upstairs alone.
Great.
Clementine's gone. Clementine's already upstairs.
Great. Yeah, I got a 14 under 50.
You see Clementine entering the manor.
She was probably focused on the fucking RC car and just like, how am I gonna fix this fucking fuck? And she'll just start running after Clem.
Do you want to make? Let's see. I don't know. Let's make an opposed dex check.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down to fumble.
All right.
Oh
well, you you got a 53 under 60, but unfortunately, Clementine got a 44 under her score.
Oh boy.
And Clementine manages to shut the door, and the people in the basement hear quick footsteps, like someone sprinting. And I don't know, Marcy, do you want to open the door then try and follow her still?
Yeah, I think she will. I think she'll just be like, God fucking damn it, Clem. She'll open the door, or she'll say, damn it, Clementine, using her full name, and very hesitantly, kind of wander forward, avoiding the hole as far as she can, and then trying to run downstairs after.
Clementine has run upstairs.
Oh, fuck. I think, yeah, she'll go.
Okay. And she's sprinting around the corner back into that room where she was when the ghost arm was found on her. Let me go back over there so I remember where it is. Whoop. Yep. And as she crosses the landing, well, this is your character, so but Clementine crosses the landing and she gets back into this room. And once she's in that room, she yells and says, "Please show yourself to me!" And that's where she stops. What do? Do you do anything?
Marcy will just yell towards downstairs to Joel, get up here, sister's doing some stupid shit again.
I think hearing people sprint in, one person sprint in, all right, weird. Second person sprint in, he's basically exactly what he figured was going to happen, and he will have started heading upstairs before Marcy even yelled for him.
Okay, cool. After hearing you start clambering upstairs, she'll wander over, watch out for the chandelier.
Yeah, the chandelier has crashed into the wall over on this side, and so there's
oh, it's embedded in the wall?
Yeah, well, it actually has come off of the thing by which it is mounted.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that bad when it swung at me. Okay,
oh, yeah, it was. I mean, you would have died. I'll tell you
that much.
Yeah.
She's not in the room that we saw Marguerite in, is she?
Nope. That would. You're not even sure that that it's on this floor.
Interesting. As I creep around the was it Banister?
Yes, Banister. I think Banister are the people in courtrooms.
Okay, Banister.
Yes.
Come over to her. What room is she in? What is in that room?
In this room, looks like someone's maybe bedroom. There's a little bathroom over here. You can't see it, but there's a bed and a closet. There's some windows, but it's kind of the same as everywhere where the wallpaper's peeling. There's some obvious rottenness to this decay. It's not fared well.
He'll slowly kind of come up to her. Clementine.
What?
It's gone.
It's not gone.
No.
Joel, it has to be here.
I know it has to be here, but that room's not there anymore. The body is not in there. I don't want to say it.
That doesn't mean the ghost isn't here.
I know. Let me finish. Okay? This was the same thing you did when you were a fucking kid. Let me finish my sentences, okay? And he's very serious with her. He usually is very I don't think they fight almost ever. But most of the time they joke around, and this is one of the very few instances where Joel gets deathly serious with her. I didn't want you to even come here, okay? I don't want any of us in this building anymore. But I don't know. I think we're gonna have to keep looking. I mean, if the body still has to be here, right? It has to be here. So I think just pretend to act normal for a couple more hours, at least until the police leave, and we keep investigating. And God damn it, I'm gonna make sure you see whatever is in here.
She's got her back kind of up against this wall on the inside of the door, like the door's open inwards to the north. If that makes any sense. And so she's got her back against this sort of southern wall. She's like, Joel, Marcy said she saw a ghost arm around me, but it wasn't a child's arm. Maybe there is another ghost here, and maybe this is the ghost that I'm supposed to see. And y'all got to see the kid ghost, and then I get to see the grown-up ghost. I don't know, but I need to be here. I just feel like there's something here for me.
I get it. He'll look to Marcy, realizing he sounds crazy. And I think both of them sound very crazy at this point. I think we're all supposed to be here. I mean, our stuff was here. We keep getting brought back here. I had a dream about this place, and we found this body, and we are gonna keep investigating.
She sighs heavily and then looks at you.
It just takes time.
She stands up and could you just make like a hum int roll?
A hum int?
Yeah.
Absatoodles. I got a massive failure. 97 over 45.
So Clementine, as she stands up, she looks at you sort of admiringly, and she's like, Joel, you always have just had the best advice. And she says, I think you're right. And she goes to give you a hug. And then she launches herself over the railing with you in her arms.
Of course.
And we'll resolve that next time.
Oh
Damn.
my god.
Oh, fuck me. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Thanks for tuning in once again to another week of Chaos Springs Eternal Season 1, City of Woe. This is a Delta Green actual play. It's all homebrew, baby. Speaking of homebrew, if you would like to join us in weaving a dark tapestry, make sure you go like, subscribe, give us 5 stars on iTunes. When you do that, go send us a message. Links are in the show notes for emails and everything. Give us a description of an NPC who you'd like to see in Carrefour. Give us what they do, what they look like, maybe a little quirk of theirs, and we'll work them into our story with a little thanks to you in that episode when we do. And also shout out to Arc Dream Publishing for putting out Delta Green and all their great stuff. They've got stuff on the Humble Bundle. Might still be going by the time this is out. Might already be past. They've also got stuff on Foundry now. And so I am going to be making the switch over to Foundry. So see you next week.
Oh, I've got a terrible feeling right now.
Yeah, this bitch has gone wacko. I can feel it.
From what I can see, it is her positioned in a room by herself, you on a walkway, and then a straight fall to the first floor.
Yeah, probably.